In this video, I want to talk about what isometrics are. I'll tell you why you should be doing them, and I'll give you some ideas on where to get started. Now, isometric exercises are an exercise where the joint that the target muscle acts upon doesn't change its angle. You may have heard of them as an exercise where the muscle doesn't change length. That's not completely true because the muscle does change length a little bit in it. These are great for getting stronger, for rehabbing injury, for treating pain, improving range of motion, and especially in terms of injury and pain, this is really something you should be looking at. What most people do when they have some sort of injury or pain, they will stretch, they'll get stronger, but the great thing about isometrics is we can improve both our range of motion and our strength with the one exercise, as well as a lot of other things. But an example of an isometric is something like a wall sit. So an exercise most of you probably have seen. Here we're targeting the quads. What's great about isometrics is we get some load into the tendon. Often an area where if you have had an injury or you're kind of been chasing pain, not getting solutions, really loading this tendon is usually part of the solution to getting out of that pain. So the wall sit's great for loading that quad, loading that tendon, but the problem is we're not moving through our full range of motion. We really want to look at our end range strength, and isometrics do have an angle specific component to it. So we want to make sure we're working through different angles. In the Stretch Yourself Strong system, in phase one, we're looking at using isometrics to both improve our range as well as improve our strength at that range. So a way to get into the same muscle as we did in the wall sit, so the quad, would come into something like a lunge here. So you can see I have my hip tucked under, I'm pointing forward here. And what we want to do is we want to load the quad in this position. So a way I could do that would be very simply just pushing my foot into the ground, and you'll feel a contraction come into the quad there. So if we've got the hip tucked under, we just come forward a little bit, you'll already feel a stretch. So what we will do is hold the stretch for 30 to 60 seconds first, and then we would push down and we can feel that quad really start to load up. Looking at around a 10-second contraction initially. We can then look to add load, we could add weights, we could even just use body weight to increase that load. So if I push down in my foot here and I start to lean back, I feel not only more tissue become involved, but it also increase my load. Ideally, with our isometrics, we would then want to look at things like, as I said, adding load, different angles, and also different speed, explosiveness, different intentions to it. And that's what we do in the Stretch Yourself Strong system. We're looking at going 4 phases, and we'll progress our isometrics through those 4 phases. So this is what we'll do in phase 1. This is a great place to start. You could do this with any exercise, just adding some tension in. If you would like a bit of a roadmap around how to progress those things, join us in Stretch Yourself Strong and stay tuned for more of this stuff. I'll see you soon.